Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a deep dive into magazine C3i number 30. This was published in 2016. The featured game is Mark Herman's South Pacific, breaking the Bismarck Barrier 1942 to 1943. First off, the plastic bag I have it sitting here so you can see. Nice size, easy to get the magazine and all the inserts in and out of the bag without having to wrestle with the bag too much. I really appreciate that. Beautiful cover. Nice stock. It is actually a full color magazine. Oh, that's beautiful. We'll get into that in a minute. 3 columns. There's some inserts. 3 columns, decent size font. Let's see what we got in here. I think it's like a 60 or 70 page magazine. 68 pages. So this particular issue covers a number of different games. There's some coin series in here. Triumph and Tragedy, Silver Bayonet, Operation Dauntless, talks about Planet Orange. Wing Leader insert. We'll get into the details here, but this is really packed with some good stuff. Little Fire Movement, 40th anniversary, talks about that. And keep in mind this was back in 2016. And here we go into some coin series. Now, if you have any aspirations of designing a coin game yourself, I think this is worth a read. It's from Vocal, and he is obviously the creator of the coin series. So this is gold when you want to get some insight into what goes on in the mind of a master. And then there's some battle examples here. Very nice. Harold Buchanan. 2-player scenario for his Liberty or Death game, War in the South. This is very nice. Gives you all the layout. It's a pretty intense set of rules. And this is actually 1, 2, 3, 4 pages of rules for this variant. And a strategy guide. So if you play Liberty or Death, this is highly recommended. And again, strategy guide by Harold. So who better? I mean, seriously, come on, guys. And it's not just 1 or 2 paragraphs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages, 3 column. There's going to be some wisdom in there. Triumph and Tragedy, 5 new scenarios. And they're just packing the content in here. Very nice. Article by Mark Herman. There's no substitute for victory, or is there? Again, these are some of the masters in game design. Definitely worth a read. Here we get into a battle report for scenario number 4, Into the Valley, from Silver Bayonet. Nice. I am lacking any good Vietnam era games, and I need to get some. Here's an article on Colonial Twilight, U.S. Army War College Strategic Wargame Program. Oh, and there's that display map that goes with Liberty or Death. Now, I imagine since I don't have this game, and this is not to be played off of, this is probably a player's aid because it lists land battles, naval battles, card events. I might have that wrong, but this is still a beautiful insert. And the reason I don't think it comes out, I shouldn't call it an insert, it's because you got articles on both sides. Okay. Operation Dauntless, new scenarios, optional rules, Normandy battle generator, setup tables, and new counters. And we'll get to the counter sheet and some of the inserts. Again, plenty of wonderful content here. Talks about some of the new counters. You'll see these on the counter sheet. And this is actually a cardstock insert. When we get to that, you'll have this on the front and this on the back. So you got it in the magazine, but they also have given you a card. Now this talks about the counter sheet and then a non-player variant for a distant plane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and jump to some of that stuff. So here's one of the inserts. Okay. These are counters for liberty or death for leaders. And here's Empire of the Sun and 4th Marines, I think. Yeah, 4th Marine Division. So it's pretty nice. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's a little indentation. You can punch that out, fold that over, and then you got your leader markers here. I'm not sure what these do, quite honestly. It looks like they fold over. No idea. There's also, and here's the counter sheet. Let's, so right here, what it tells you, you get South Pacific 71 counters and 26 of the 5/8 counters. That's basically all of these counters here. Okay. This is for the Alexander. This is the Dauntless. We just looked at Operation Dauntless. There's the Wing Leader. You get 20 counters and Alexander counters, which when we get to those parts of the magazine and the articles. And then this is One by the Sword, some additional counters for that game. And again, this is two-sided. Beautiful counters. No complaints about any of that. But it gives you a manifest for that here. And the other thing I did want to show you here it is. So here's those 2 pages. Nice cardstock. So you don't have to haul the magazine around. You can just take the insert. Now, let's talk about this distant plane. Now we did see those counters for Wing Leader. So here's the scenarios. And those counters go for the scenarios here. And again, nice cardstock with that. And then here you go. So with the non-player variant of a distant plane, you're going to get random spaces map. Now I don't have this game, so this is all new to me. On the back side is the special event instructions. And again, nice cardstock. And then you get a fold out, double-sided for the solo variant. Non-player Taliban, non-player Warlord, non-player Coalition, non-player Government. That's very nice. So you get 2 inserts for a distant plane. Like I said, this magazine, it's got quite a bit of content. A few more articles, talks about movie. It's a gamer profile for Lance Nielsen. He's a film director and game player, talks about him. Some information off of Labyrinth. Very interesting stuff. Who's it by? Trevor Bender. Looks like he is also the game designer. if I'm reading this correctly. So again, a lot of good content here. Let me get to where's the 4th Marine Division, new game variant for Empire of the Sun. And again, excuse me, counters for that right there. You'll see it shows down here. And here's the Greater Battles of History, Hellspot. And you got the counters, and also an insert for that. Oh, look at there. So counters and another nice card insert. Another gamer profile, Lenny Glenn. Excuse me. SPI game designer. And now we get into some strategy notes from South Pacific, which is the featured game in this magazine, and that's by Mark Herman. And these are the counters here, the larger ones, and the smaller ones. 71 of the smaller, I think it's 26 of the larger. And again, those are two-sided. Strategy guide for Plan Orange. A couple pages of that. And then kind of the back of the magazine is a full color version of a box back for the game. Shows the map, complexity, the 7, solitaire compatibility only a 3, map 150 hexes per 150 miles per hex, excuse me. Each game turn represents about 4 months, and it's for 1 to 2 players. It's interesting, it says 1 with a solitaire of 3. Mark Herman's the game designer. Art director, Roger B. McGowan. Rulebook layout, Mark Simonich. And you noticed in the magazine itself, there were no rules. Why? Because here they go. This is a full-fledged game. Not that a lot of them are, but this is full 32 pages. South Pacific. And again, it does say it has a complexity of 7. Full color. And there are strategy cards, and they give you those as well. We'll see those in just a second. But again, full rule book. So this is a meaty game. Some designer notes. Love me the designer notes. Example of play. And there's a lot in here. Okay. Scenarios. 17.1. Okay. And then there's a few other things here for this particular scenario. There's an index for the rules, which is always nice. And then on the back, sequence of play outline. And then to wrap it up, we've got these cards. There's more than the cards, there's also the map, and I'll show you that, which I think is very cool. But so the card back, these punch out. Operation Brewer, Typhoon Task Force, China Offensive, war in Europe. You have 1, 2, 3 sheets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Was that 24 cards? For the Allies. And then here's your Japanese cards, same thing. 24 cards for them. Japanese counterattack at Savo Island, submarine attack, Battle of Guadalcanal, Naval Battle of Guadalcanal. And these easily punch out. So that's nice. Oh, I can move these. And finally, the game map. Now look at this. This pretty much unfolds on my camera here. So it's a beautiful map. Very similar in style to Pacific War. Oh. Although not exactly, but a lot of the same icons, which I think is very cool. This is a beautiful map unto itself. That's a big thick box, right? Single-sided, but I might be able to actually play this without my furry girls interrupting too much. But again, full 32-page rules. 2 decks of cards, and roughly 100 counters. 71 and 26, close enough. So, as I mentioned before, a lot of stuff in this magazine. A lot of content. Wow. Again, this is C3i, issue number 30, published in 2016. As always, guys, I appreciate you taking time to check out what I do here on the channel. If you haven't yet, please think about subscribing. Like the video, leave a comment if you got something to say. I read all the comments and respond. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.